Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yo, I want y'all to check this joint out with me. This is Charleston White going off on Lil Boosie, going off on Young Thug, and he's sitting here going back and forth, and he's going in on why they cheered for Little Woody, who came out. He gonna speak on that himself, but yet Thug come out, and then all this come, and then he tells on people that do what Little Woody's accused of doing, and then they ostracize him, but they cheer Woody. This is going to be interesting. I want you to see what old Charleston White got to say. All right? Let's keep it moving. You know what it is, Unique Make Audio, man. We here. I want y'all to really see this Charleston White joint because he goes in and he makes a lot of very interesting points that I want y'all to put in the comments so that we can. I'm going to do a live about this maybe tomorrow, sometime early this week, because I want to hear what y'all got to say. Right now, we're going to do the comments. We're going to do a live in a minute.
He still get his C's. He still get his G's hit. Why y'all let these tell too? That's why he attacked me in the barbershop. But you got the black community clapping. But they saying I'm wrong for snitching. So when Woody come home, they clap for Woody. Oh, Woody's so loving, but they kill a bunch of people.
Now, y'all explain that. Why do you think they clap for Woody and he allegedly killed a bunch of people, but then they get mad and then they want to ostracize Charleston for telling on people that did what Woody's accused of? Put it in the comments.
Just 10 years ago, the FBI said he's the most dangerous man in Atlanta. And they clapping for him. But I'm the bad guy for wanting to tell on these kind of guys. Yeah. So now Young Thug done come out snitching. Young Thug got a video in the interrogation room for 2 hours having dialogue with the police about crimes and criminals, but he don't want to work with Gunna. Come on, homie, look at the hypocrisy. So God, man.
Now, what do you think about Young Thug saying he didn't want to work with Gunna, come out, did that post yelling wham and all that when he first came home, and then now it shows that he's been in an interrogation room for 2 hours? Y'all put in the comments, do you think that's hypocrisy? Or do you think that, well, somebody let me know.
Made me the sacrificial lamb. That's why I have gotten this far, because I have been attacking evil. They've been saying I've been evil, but that's why God won't let nothing happen to me, because though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. I've been speaking against evil, my. So who go hurt if somebody speaking against evil? They preach evil. They go commit crimes and put it on songs. That's how they were able to give them. And they use the songs against them. So Boosie killed 9 people, went to trial for 5. Used a 16-year-old to kill 5 people, and this kid didn't make over $50,000. He paid $2,000 per hit.
I know people that did hits for $500. So, I mean, if he made anywhere near 50, he got paid as far as, street, payment. Somebody put in the comments, let me know. How many people do you know of in your neighborhood that was putting more than 10 grand on somebody's head back in the day? I mean, now it's different. They got rap money, so they're allegedly putting the bag on it. Let's keep it moving.
And people saying God on his side. You're not when he got a 15-year-old doing life in prison. And by the way, I helped work on that law to try to get this kid out. It's called JLWOP, juvenile life without parole. I went to Washington, D.C. over 4 or 5 times. We got it abolished, but you know what? They didn't make it retroactive for the boy Boosie used. So that's why this is personal to me.
Now, let me explain to you what retroactive means. Retroactive means that from the date the law came out, let's say September 1st, it only apply to people that come in from September 1st forward. Anyone that was arrested from August 31st back don't get it. Now, the crazy thing is, because we're going to ride. They had a case called Ring versus Arizona. It's a dude named Ring, was a death penalty case. He put on a hell of a case, right? Gunshots to him. He put on a hell of a case. He won the case in the Supreme Court, Arizona Supreme Court, but they didn't make it retroactive. So they said, from this day forward, you can't kill someone or put someone, to death, for what Ring did 10 years ago. but it's not retroactive, so it don't apply to Ring. So Ring has to die today. But anyone who comes in and do what Ring done from today forward don't get to die. What do y'all think about that? Put in the comments. That's what retroactive mean it goes back, retro. Like this retro shirt I'm wearing. It's one of my old rugby shirts from back in the 90s.
I ain't got to explain that to y'all. Why he picking on Boosie? Because I fight to get Marlo Mike out. He'll die in there as a baby. He was 15 years old with 9 bodies. He went to go tell because he couldn't sleep at night. Boosie.
You heard that? He went to go tell because he couldn't sleep at night. Let me tell you about the demons. The demons attack us in many different ways. Me, it attacks me by a sweat. I get cold sweats throughout the night when the demons come and get me. But my mind is so strong, they don't put any thoughts on me. They just take control of my body and let me perspire. And I might change my t-shirt 3-4 times for the night. Now, Marlo Mike, he's saying that, his demons was haunting him where he had to go confess to someone and he went and turned himself in, is what I'm gathering that he's saying. But that's when those demons are haunting you so bad. I know a man, right? Because we ride. I know a man that I met in the prison and he's charged with, doing something real horrendous, right? And he know the person's, whole family. So I used to walk by his cell and I see him sitting on the bed and he's sitting there holding his head. And I'm like, yo, what's wrong? And he's like, man, my man's mom came to visit me while I was taking a nap. I said, what you mean she came to visit you? He said, nah, she always haunt me. She always come in my dreams. It haunted him so much for what he did to that family that they used to come and visit him in his sleep so he couldn't sleep. So this is how Marlo Mike may have been feeling. He said, man, I got to talk to somebody. I got to get this weight off my shoulders, out my chest. I mean, that you don't understand. Who has demons? Put in the comments if you have demons, why you have them, and how they affect you, and how you control them, because I need help knowing how to control my demons, just so you know.
Sleep good at night because he didn't pull the trigger. That baby can't sleep. While you throwing your pool party, that baby had 9 bodies at 15 years old. And he committed them all. He had to get it out of his heart. My wife went to the police and told.
Had to get out of his heart. That's why he went to the police and confessed to the crime.
Can't sleep at night. You done killed 9 people. You can't tell nobody about it. And you a baby? He was a baby. And y'all got more mercy for Boosie. Still rap about what he being on death row, and he cried. He was in protective custody. Ask Eric Brown, who was in Angola with him. And look, East Solid, bit Boosie a hoe. That's why I want to get him in the boxing ring and on his diabetic jaw.
Who do you think will win at that fight with Charleston White and Boosie in the boxing ring? Somebody put in the comment. Who do you think will win, and who would you like to see win? But, let's keep it moving. But Charleston's speaking some real stuff here, because he said he went to fight to get this young man out of jail that was used as a baby. And I know a lot of us was used as babies. I was used as a baby, but I mean, I made it through it. I worked my life plus 20 off down to 26. But we always used some type of way because the people that was around us, they didn't have a blue book how to be an elder, much less how to be a parent.
He even said in the song, he the top 5. He done misled more juveniles in America than Tupac. Boosie should be sentenced to the higher end of the maximum sentencing guideline. You know why? Because he talked that street. Let's see if he can stand that street. Because his background take him to that USP he was talking about. They gonna go back when he ran away from home at 12 years old? See, I done been in federal court when they say, oh, you ran away at home at 12. At 13, I don't know what that's about. You pulled a gun out on somebody when you were 14. Oh, it was a BB gun, but that's still serious. I watched a federal judge walk from decisions he made when he was 12 to 24 and took him to 30 years. Let's see if Boosie can stand up under that.
Now, that's deep. That's when you know if a man has been battle tested or not, when he's sitting there on the opposition and the enemy got their sword on his neck. That's when you tell who's who and how they cut.
Let's see if Boosie can stand up under that. Take him to the high sentencing end of the guideline and see if this don't fold.
Do you think Boosie will fold if they take him to the highest end of the guidelines? Somebody put in the comments, you think Boosie will fold if they take him to the highest end of the guidelines? Somebody put in the comments, let me know. And also put why or why not.
He ain't been tested. That was just talking. That's been tested. How can you give a man life, 2 life sentences, and he still go down there and make right choices? Most go down there doing wrong with 2 lives. They give up. How you still have hope? Let's say Boosie that strong. Strong. Niggas just be talking. Nigga. They don't make rap songs about like him. They don't make rap like him. Don't rap. They don't get a chance to rap, nigga.
So maybe the culture is changing now. Maybe they're celebrating the people that's selling now, right?
I think I made telling cool. Because telling always been cool.
I think so.
If you can fight, telling really cool. If you can fight, telling cool. Don't be that can break it out. Or have a reputation like Woody, known for shooting that pistol, and you act like you might still go back to shoot that pistol. You can tell every time you go. Shout out to Gator. Been 3-4 times, nigga come back still. Yeah, shout out to that Gator from the north side.
What about Steven Jackson, right? He's recently brought you up and he's been speaking on you. I don't know why he's been speaking on you.
Steven's a wannabe, man.
Yeah, you know what?
He's a wannabe trying to be.
Oh, wannabe.
See, you got in the black community, you got men and you got males. You got males that's adult that don't know how to be men. You got men and males. Then you got OG. Then you got street. Then you got juvenile delinquents. Then you got the YNs. You got square. But then there's a group of that I like to refer to as has-been. Michael Jordan is a has-been. Tiger Woods, has-been. You know, once was great, has-been. He retired, you put his jersey up. Then you got a used to be. The used to be is the I don't like. He used to be something, and he's still trying to remind you of what he used to be, but he ain't that today. Used to be, how about when he used to have money? When we used to, but you can't do it today. So shut up. Then you got a wannabe. That's what Steven Jackson was. See, Steven Jackson is what I was when I was a little boy, a wannabe. I grew up in the suburbs. In 3rd grade, I had my own room, my own phone line, and I had a bunk bed, and I had a Nerf tennis ball with the, you know, you can shoot the basketball in your room, and I had an Atari to myself. That was considered rich back then. So I don't know what it's like to grow up in the project, but I watched it on TV. When I went over my cousin in house in the ghetto on the weekend, I got to stay Friday, Saturday, come home late Sunday. I get to see all kinds of kids in my community don't get to see because their parents is unsupervising them. So I take these negative elements back to my suburban neighborhood, and I play with kids who hadn't saw this, and now I'm trying to hunch it because I done seen my big cousin getting his sucked. So now I'm trying to see, do they suck over here? So they don't suck over here, but I'm introducing it. So that's how kids learn. I'm hearing music. Hey, we want some. So I'm learning this here and stealing the tape and bringing it over here, and we listening to it after school. You see what I'm saying? So this is why white people didn't want their kids going to school with black kids. Hell no, don't let them niggas come across the railroad track. So I understand. So it's a reason why your parents don't want you playing with certain kind of kids, because this kid is being exposed to some. I wasn't being exposed over here until I went to my aunties and my cousins in them houses. And I bring that over here because children are not supposed to see it, hear it, nor speak it. So I was a wannabe. So by the time the culture and by the time black entertainment and black culture started propagating it, homie, you got to think. Nigga, I'm 8, 9 years old. Our mothers are blue-collar workers. Our daddies are blue-collar workers. Our uncles are hustlers. And we all at home waiting for them to come off work with all our necessities and needs met. And we got MTV. We got a VCR. So you got to remember, homie, when I'm born into the world, Superfly in the Mac is like Dr. King and Malcolm X in the black entertainment world. These movies are propagated and projected. So to hear her say, shut up, and she'll get slapped like a woman gets slapped in the movie, that ain't unusual.
Right.
Shut up. So school, guess what we doing? Shut up. We remember that in elementary. I already backhanding in the mouth. So we learned this in elementary. We watching, you know, I watched the movie, probably 50 times before I learned my math tables. Mm-hmm. I can recite that. And when Goldie said, I'm gonna have mother talking about me like they talk about Jesus, that was my line. And if I ain't got mother talking about me today like they talk about Jesus, I said, they're not a little bitty boy. I said, they're a little bitty boy. So now, so then your mother is trying to counter this. She's not bringing these kind of men through your house. So I'm not seeing these kind of men within my household. When I step out on the porch, my neighbor is a Mexican who got a mama and daddy that's married. That's my best friend, Brian Alaniz. So I can stay over Brian Alaniz's house. So I don't know racism. The next door to me is a DEA agent. They tell on me every time I try to sneak out the window. So I'm surrounded by morals and positive values. Only time I'm seeing this boy is on television and when we go to Aunt B them house, or when I go with my grandmama, because my grandmama on drugs. Homie, I didn't know what crack looked like until the DARE program came. And they bring the little vials and showed her what crack. I didn't know. And then, nigga, I saw that my grandmama was on crack. I didn't know what that like. I was shielded as a child, as most childs should be. The culture is one that took the veil off and exposed our children to the criminal elements of society. The white man didn't. You got to think, this made it to the NBA. What street gangster talk how he talk made it to the NBA and fulfilled the NBA contract and retired after the NBA and don't have no prison time. So he was a wannabe that didn't get to be that's trying to be. He's the wannabe that didn't get to be that's trying to be.
All right, so what do you think about that? Somebody let me know what you think about what Charleston just said. He just said some real interesting stuff because we all have children and grandchildren that we let go visit our family members that might not be doing as well off as we are or as some. And when we leave our kids unsupervised there, they do pick up things from that environment and bring it back into your environment, right? Like, let me give you one, right? Because you know I like to ride. I'm going to give you one. First time I went pick up my son, I got two sons, both of them in Wayne. I go pick up my, the oldest first. I got him for about a week, and I went to talk to his mother, and I said, all right, let's put the crap aside with this different baby mama crap. Let's get this thing moving. So she allowed me to take my son out with me. So I take my son out with me. Then I get a beat, and I got to go make a big sale, right? So I called my baby mama. I said, look, I'm going to bring my son over there. She never spent any time with him, didn't even know him, and never even met his mother, none of that, right? But I'm putting this thing together to introduce my boys, right? So I bring him over there and, I leave, I go make the sale, and right when I'm in between, making the sale and getting the money, I'm getting all types of beeps, beep, 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 911, 911 from my baby mama. I look back, I said, damn. So I pick up the phone, I call her, I said, what's up, She said, nah, you need to come over here and get him. I said, all right, I'll be here. She said, no, you need to come get him now. I said, yeah, I'm coming right now. Wasn't going right now. Finish the sale, put the money up, then I go out there. When I pull up and I say, what's wrong? She said, no, my mother said something to him, and he twisted his mouth up, and he grabbed his crotch, And I said, so? And she said, ain't no boy 7 years old, 8 years old supposed to be doing that. I said, nah, baby, we do that over at the Mecca all the time. That's where he got it from. He said, nah, his mama told him that. Now she won't blame it on his mama. I said, nah, it ain't his mama told him that. I told him when he around us, screw everything your mama taught you. Screw everything your stepmama gonna teach you and just listen to what daddy gonna teach you. But you got to know how to balance the two. When you in this world with daddy, this is how you survive. When you in this world with mommy and stepmommy, this is how you survive. So I had to explain to him that, look, I let you grab your nuts when we over at the Mecca, right? But you don't grab your nuts to no lady or outside of us being in the Mecca amongst men, because that's disturbing behavior. But we're disturbing people. You know what I mean? And he started laughing. But he fully understood what I was saying, and that's all I really wanted you to understand, that we could poison our kids and not even know we poisoning our kids. I used to pull over the corner because we ride. I used to pull over the corner, get stopped at a red light. There's a red light in, every block in New York, and there's a bodega on every block. And they all know me. So I pull over, my son jumps out. I said, yo, go get me a blunt and a Heineken, right? He 8 years old. He runs in and get the blunt and the Heineken. He come back, but now he ain't got the Heineken. But he got the blunt. I said, where's the Heineken? He said, nah, he wouldn't give it to me. I said, what do you mean he wouldn't give it to me? So I get out. I'm an old terrible father. I'm going to keep it 100. I get out with my pistol in my hand, walked up in the bodega. I said, yo, Whenever my son come in here, you give him what he want, because that means I'm outside. And they said, but what if he come when you're not here? I said, he ain't going to do that. And if he do it, I'm going to whoop him. You hear me, boy? I'm going to whoop you. He said, yeah, Dad. I said, all right, now give him the bed. And he gave him the bed, he brought it out. That's how much of a terrible dad I was. You know what I mean? So maybe it was, meant for me to go get locked up and get adjusted to a civilized frame of mind. But this is exactly what Charleston is speaking on. That's why I'm bringing it out. So I'm letting y'all know now. Be careful where you let your kids go. Be careful what you expose them to. And that's why they have the parental guidance on movies, on YouTube videos, and everything where they ask you if this video is meant for a kid, all of that. Check those, because you want to make sure that certain children, that their mind is not going to be able to process it and understand it and think that like what I'm doing is glorifying it, when what I'm trying to do is really telling you don't get involved. It's not worth it. Stay out of these people prison, man. And make sure you subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, all right? Because this is what it's about. Juanita Mecca Audio. If you want to hear my prison stories, go to Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories. I got plenty of prison stories. I'm going to start giving a couple more here. But, just show some love, all right?
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. What?
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block. Did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.